the future for sex workers in New Zealand, for this organisation in New Zealand, I think, you know, there's a lot of discussion around the world in terms of what New Zealand's managed to do with the decriminalisation of sex work, and people are looking to us for experience, insight. We get involved in research. We've worked quite steadily for the last 25 years on research projects with different researchers, and so we know that there's a lot of evidence to support what we know about the laws that govern sex workers in this country. We are, however, deeply concerned about the lack of rights for sex workers who come from other countries. For example, if you're thinking about being a sex worker and migrating to New Zealand to become one, you can't. That's against the law, which is quite discriminatory. If you were considering any other occupation, you would be allowed to do that. There's a big discussion about trafficking, and often people conflate trafficking with sex work. They say that the two go together, and yes, there are situations where sex workers are trafficked, and I think we have to keep our eye on that, make sure that every sex worker, regardless, is working in a situation that is voluntary, that is supported, and isn't in a situation where they're being coerced or undermined or having their rights undermined. So a lot of our focus is certainly on, you know, looking out not just for the population of sex workers who have the right to work, but also the population of sex workers who don't yet have that right supported in this country and other countries.
In regards to the future of NZPC, I would like to see the involvement of more men within the organisation, so that the guys feel safe coming in and talking with people. Quite often they may feel uncomfortable talking about issues about anal sex with a woman. They may feel uncomfortable about talking about issues regarding their own sexual health and issues surrounding clients. And so it's important that men are represented in NZPC, and it's important that they have that voice within NZPC where other male sex workers can come and talk, they can come and listen, they can learn things from each other.
We're very impressed with the actions that sex workers take when they come across a situation that's concerning. For example, we have people who may call on behalf of someone that they're concerned about, and that may be something like, well, you know, I know that my friend is working in a place and she's quite stressed and there's a bit of pressure on her, and you know, she's been asked to provide unprotected oral sex, and you know, what can she do about it? And so, you know, that kind of proactivity from sex workers or friends of sex workers is really important. We say that there's always a solution. It might not be an easy solution, but you know, nevertheless there is. For example, the medical officers of health take a deep interest in the whole culture of public health, and sex workers play a very important role in terms of public health and are fantastic, for the most part, at preventing the transmission of STIs, sexually transmissible infections. Condoms are used in most situations, most of the time, but we do know that we have to keep that pressure on the clients. You know, like a lot of the clients will come up with suggestions for unsafe practices, and that's not to say that there's not great behaviour there, but just that there is some ignorance. So, you know, this organisation's here to support sex workers who have concerns around unprotected sex, as are the medical officers of health, and our role would be, for example, if you called us, we would be able to talk to the medical officers of health on your behalf, and they would be proactive in addressing situations like that. The same with the labour inspectorate. I mean, if your occupational safety and health has been undermined because somebody's making you work 16-hour shifts and you're being fined if you're not doing so, or if you simply say, no, I can't come in, and you feel undue pressure, or any pressure actually, you must know that you have the right to say no, and you must also know that there's something that you can do about that situation. The other situation that needs to be flagged is people who are under the age of 18. I think it's very important that we all know that it's an offence, it's a criminal offence to facilitate anyone who's under the age of 18 into sex work. It's not a crime for someone to be a sex worker if they are 16 or 17. It's a crime if you're paying that person for sex. It's also a crime if you are hiring that person. So our organisation works with young people who are under the age of 18, and we don't, we're realistic. We recognise that, you know, for some of those young people, that if we're not careful, they would run and hide from us. So we have to work very sensitively with them to try and get them into situations that, you know, that they're willing to go to. So they may have issues of homelessness, they may feel that they're disconnected from their family for reasons to do with homophobia or transphobia, or just dysfunctional family life, or they may feel that they're ready to be a sex worker at that age. So it's important for us that they're hooked in to support services and not driven away, because if they're driven away, they're more likely to be in situations where they're not getting sensible information.